Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Tucson. So I wrote a paper a couple weeks ago, and it was during the time of what was happening to me here in the complex. I have a neighbor a couple doors down. He's not here anymore. They did eliminate him after 8 days, I believe, 8 to 10 days, and then the others set. But there are still three more people um, that are within the organization that need to be dealt with. Um, they are a part of this, and they did share our information because there was all these people that had no business in our, you know, there's no way they would have known. So I wrote a paper. I'm going to read this to you. And then, so this is about, let me just read to you. Opening the discussion on gang stalking and group stalking involves exploring the differences between the two, how they originated, and the reason behind targeting specific victims. It is essential to understand who is most often targeted and the psychological effects these experiences can have on individuals. Additionally, discussing strategies for avoiding involvement in this cruel and manipulative game of gaslighting, as well as why bullies resort to such tactics. You have to forgive me, I'm a little nervous. I haven't been talking in a while. I've been painting. I'm constantly doing that. Okay, so gang stalking. There exists a significant distinction among individuals who believe they are victims of gang stalking, particularly those who attribute these experiences to the actions of the United States government. These individuals often express a feeling of severe psychological surveillance and paranoia, which can lead them to perceive threats in various aspects of their daily lives. Communication of intentions through written letters has been observed among individuals experiencing severe psychological distress. They often provide rationalization for their own actions without disclosing the full scope of their plans. A notable example is John Hinckley Jr., who attempted to assassinate President Ronald Reagan, driven by deep-seated paranoia and delusional thoughts. These cases emphasize a broader trend among individuals who perceive themselves as victims of unseen forces, highlighting the complex psychological struggles involved. These groups often identify themselves as target individuals, a term they reject for various reasons. It is important to note that the history of government surveillance in the United States from the civil rights era concerning figures like Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X to more recent development post 9/11 continues to invoke concern. Recently, discussions in Congress have brought these issues to public attention, underscoring the ongoing prevalence of this topic. Furthermore, many of these individuals utilize social media platforms, including Facebook, to share their experiences related to what they believe to be government surveillance or gang stalking. This online discourse has unfortunately been linked to homegrown mass shootings among the groups. Research by Cody and Rees 2024 indicates that 128 self-reported cases related to violent acts were investigated and found to involve individuals with serious mental health issues. The research the research conducted during President Biden's time in office raised concerns about the mental health of individuals involved in violent acts. It appears that some may have exhibited signs of paranoia, which could indicate underlying psychological issues, including schizophrenia. These mental health challenges were already present and may have influenced their decision making processes. The concerning aspect of the situation lies in the decision made by these individuals to harm innocent people instead of pursuing their grievances through lawful channels or interactions with government institutions. It is essential to explore the relationship between mental health and violent behavior to help prevent similar tragedies in the future. particularly regarding public surveillance. Understanding this interaction can provide valuable insight for develop effective preventive strategies. Excuse me for a minute. My grandson, he woke up with a real bad cold this morning. He's got the flu, not a cold. His mother said. I want to make that clear, she said. Okay, so now we're going to cover group stalking. Recent studies indicate that just under 100% of women experience group stalking, report significant psychological distress and social disruptions due to their experiences. In contrast, only about 20% of men have reported similar instances of group stalking. While the self-reported cases displayed similarities in patterns of abuse, there were variations in the underlying motivation and tactics employed by the perpetrators, and that is by Sheridan, James, and Roth, 2020. These bullies often engage in behaviors designed to inflict unwanted intrusion, create disturbances, and instill fear in their victims. Such relentless harassment tends to isolate the victims, eroding their ability to trust others. This alarming trend appears to have intensified in the wake of societal societal changes, particularly as women began seeking independence following experiences of domestic violence. And this is also Sheridan, James, and Roth, 2020. Stalking per I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. Stalking perpetrators, the people who are doing it, often enlist the help of others to amplify their tactics, employing strategies such as spreading malicious rumors or enhanced psychological manipulation to coerce their victims into compliance. This collective bullying effort accelerates the trauma faced by victims, contributing to a pervasive sense of vulnerability and helplessness. Non-partner group stalking inflicted severe psychological harm on their victims. Individuals targeted by this form of harassment often experience significant emotional distress, particularly when they attempt to report their experiences to law enforcement, only to be dismissed as delusional. This dismissive attitude from authorities is all too common and exacerbated the victim's trauma. Group stalking can originate from a variety of sources, including neighbors, friends, roommates, or acquaintances, while other perpetrators are known to the victim. A smaller percentage may involve individuals whom the victim has never met. The stalking often accelerates when individuals use technology in concert with others in the community to monitor the victim's every move, which I went through. This collaborative form of harassment can develop as a response to unfounded rumors and false accusations, often instigated by someone with personal vendetta against the victim. The motivation behind such cruel tactics can be surprisingly trivial, such as perceived failure to fit in within a community or landlord's retaliation against a tenant for filing a legitimate complaint regarding consumer fraud. In these cases, the the person who starts it, perpetrator, may disclose the victim's private information to other residents, thereby rallying support for their malicious campaign. These so-called loyal residents, unaware of the underlying motivation, become unwitting accomplices in the abuse. As this tactic dynamic unfolds, the initial aim is frequently one of winning at any cost, ignoring the severe consequences their action impose on the victim. This collective abuse can spiral out of control, rooted in deeply ingrained malice, while the neighbors involved often share the PERPETRATORS harmful intentions, perpetuating a cycle of injustice and suffering for the targeted individual. Story Tina and Williams 2023. The victim is known experiencing intense fear and anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, social and occupational dysfunction, self-blame, doubt, and physical health impacts. Story Kenya and Williams 2023. When reflecting on the individual who inflicted harm upon their partner fueled by anger and rage, it becomes evident that the repercussions extend far beyond the immediate incident. The victim often feels compelled to distance themselves, physically remove themselves from the I have a hard time with the P's right now. PERPETRATORS. Present to prevent any potential contact, even avoiding eye contact. Willette 2023. When he was around, or because he'd always come down the stairs, him and his partner and his children, I just put my head down. I wouldn't even look at him because I didn't want to infuriate him more. I don't know why I was the target, and I don't know why he was taking pictures of the gate and complaining about my grandson's disability and all this. I don't even know how he got the information. The victim is now experiencing intense fear and anxiety, post-traumatic stress. I'm sorry. However, despite this necessary act of self-preservation, the lingering impact of fear and insecurity persists. The sense of not being safe can be overwhelming, compounded by lack of support from those around them. As noted by Sheridan, James, and Roth 2020, victims frequently find themselves in situations where their experiences are met with disbelief, leaving them feeling isolated and voiceless. This disbelief exacerbates their anxiety, making it exceedingly difficult for them to relax. Even the mere thought of the perpetrator can trigger a physical response. The tension builds in their muscles, creating an all encompassing feeling of distress that can be paralyzing. The emotional and psychological toll of the victim is profound, and the need for empathy and understanding in such circumstances cannot be overstated. Bullies who win at all costs. The dark triad consists of this is a hard word to pronounce. I'm going to just spell it. It's MACHIAVELLIANISM, narcissism, and sociopathy, all characterized by harmful interpersonal behaviors. Machiavellianism, the one I spelled earlier, named after Niccolo Machiavelli, involves manipulative and exploitative interpersonal strategies aimed at personal gain. Those with these traits often engage in, in strategic manipulation, strategic manipulation, using tactics ranging from threats to flattery, while viewing workplace relationships as tools for advancement. Narcissism is characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, a persistent need for admiration, and deficiency in empathy, resulting in impulsive and reckless behaviors that can disrupt workplace dynamics. Sociopathy involves a lack of empathy and remorse, often coupled with charm and persuasiveness. Individuals with these traits can be destructive within organizations, engaging in antisocial and unethical behaviors and making high risk decisions. Environmental factors such as ambiguous rules can further enable unethical conduct, allowing these with March MACHIAVELLIANS tendencies to exploit loopholes in their advantage. Predatory dark triad personality traits. MACHIAVELLIANISM is linked to a significant higher rate of criminal activity as individuals with this personality trait often operate according to their own set of rules. They excel at manipulating both the system around them and the people within their environment. Those who fall prey to their tactics may find themselves in for a shocking revelation, as these individuals typically present themselves as the quintessential nice guy or nice gal. However, their underlying beliefs about others reveal their true nature. Those with Machiavellian tendencies often operate under a pervasive distrust. If someone shows them kindness, it is always driven by ulterior motives. They tend to believe that no one acts without a reason and often misinterprets gestures of goodwill as attempts to gain something from them. In extreme cases, they may recruit accomplices to engage in the form of group stalking, ensuring that they blend in and avoid negative scrutiny while targeting their victims. This orchestrated behavior is intended to create a facade that obscures their true intentions. Over time, as individuals become more familiar with them and peer beneath the false mask, the manipulative nature of these Machiavellians, MACHIAVELLIAN individuals become increasingly evident. In many communities, individuals who often maintain a facade of being Gavil, hold on a minute. Um, I'm sorry. JOVIAL or amiable, AMIABLE, can harbor intentions of harm toward those who expose their true nature. Often these individuals may resort to extreme measures of silence or discredit those who uncover their true nature. Hold on for one moment, please. Sorry, everybody hit me at once. Okay, often these individuals may resort to extreme measures to silence or discredit those who uncover their true natures. When dealing with challenging situations, particularly those involving toxic individuals, it can be beneficial to seek therapy for support and guidance. It is important to prioritize your safety and well-being. One vulnerable piece of advice is to avoid any confrontation with the individual in question. This includes refraining from making eye contact and not reacting to their attempts to provoke you verbally. To maintain your emotional strength, try to detach from the situation as much as possible. This means not giving the person power over your feelings, even if you naturally feel empathy toward them. Consider keeping a detailed record of any interactions, noting the dates and times. If possible, use a recording device during encounters, as this can help. Also, too, I used art to get me through it. I couldn't even sleep at night. I was so terrified because I thought he was going to come through the door. Um, Providing clarity about any harmful comments or behavior directed at you. By documenting these instances, you can better navigate the situation and protect your mental health. If you have a hobby, pick it back up or find a new one. It really helps keep one's mind intact. In situations involving various forms of bullying, prioritizing safety is essential. Today's society presents unique challenges, making it critical to stay informed and protect our mental health from the daily negativity that surrounds us. We live in a world marked by uncertainty where behaviors associated with Machiavellianism. It's Machiavellianism. Narcissism and sociopathy can appear in abusive ways. Recognizing these traits and understanding their potential link in severe mental health issues is vital for navigating these complex dynamics. By raising awareness about many forms of bullying behavior, we strengthen our psychological resilience and equip ourselves to survive in the current environment. It is also important to seek help and support as these elements are fundamental to our well being. And then my references. Um, I will let, um, so I use my life experiences. And on my last job I had, I was dealing um, with with a dark Triad supervisor. Cody, Zach, and Kevin D. Ryan's his article is Gang Stalking and Targeted Individuals. Sheridan L. James and Roth, the, fem- the, fema- the Phenomenology of Group Stalking, Gang Stalking, a content analyst of subjective experiences, International Journey of Environmental Research and Public Health. Story, Pina and Williams, 2023, The Impact of Stalking and its dictators, characterizing the needs of stalking victims. And Journal of Interpersonal Volume 38, 21, 22. So I wrote this paper on October 5th, 2025, and I wrote it because I was going through it, and I was in class, and I talked with my professor, asked him for prayer to help me. But I the video that I made, I'm afraid for my safety. It really happened to me, and you can hear how violent he was with his partner in that video. And but I had no one to go to because I already had problems with the office. Um, and I believe it all started from her because the stalking, the group stalking, the pictures of the gate, it came from employees. It came from all kinds of people. When she could just got off her chair and come up and did it herself every day, whatever she wanted to do. But it's a doctor's note, it's a doctor's note. And then the other incident where the maintenance man asked my daughter for a picture with him. And that brought up a whole bunch of other stuff. So this is gonna be a huge series, and I'm gonna be putting it out. And you're gonna get all the scoops, and you're gonna be more aware. You're gonna pay attention. But the point is to drive you crazy, paranoid, and all these other things. But because I've gone through this so many times in apartment living, that you just learn to stay quiet, and hopefully they'll find somebody else to pick on. But in my case, because I wouldn't shut up, it just got worse. And that's okay. It's better that you put that on me than on someone who can't handle it. So we're gonna visit this, and I'm gonna start from the very beginning when it first got here to Arizona. All right, all right. God bless. Peace. Take care.